We welcome you back to the Two Guys Named Chris show. Now, Lisa Lanier, you can weigh in on this. Lisa, the NBA, the investigation that was revealed yesterday that got a player and a coach involved, all of this kind of thing. What do you think the future of this is, and how are you?
I'm fantastic, and I think that this will eventually blow over, like a lot of these scandals have in the past that have been smaller scale, no doubt. But I think it'll blow over, and I think you're right. All the things that you said about it fueling fan concerns that games are rigged and stuff, but you're always going to have that. And I think the thing is that these guys, even though they're making good money for the most part, right? It's kind of like what you see in other industries in the entertainment world, like Michael Jackson and people like that. They get to the point where they've done everything. They're not getting the thrill anymore out of what they're doing. They're always looking for that next thrill, and that's why they they risk everything on something like this, because they're chasing the next thrill as their stardom and their success goes up. They're like, okay, I've done everything I can do here. Where's the next thrill coming from? I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, Chris Tim's saying that.
They want the action.
It's the thrill of the gamble. But, I'll just say this old saying in the hood, all money's not good money.
Lisa, he doesn't know the hood. He is scared of the hood. Has done everything he can to avoid the hood in his life.
He's never seen bad money.
That's 6'7". That's okay.
You gonna try to slip that past us, Lisa?
You don't get that past us. You don't get that past us. No, sir. We're adding one to the docket today. It came up earlier. There is a woman named Moesha Gardner who has been arrested, charged with making a false statement about an emergency because she texted her husband as a joke, and she said, "Oh, look what I found laying on the couch when I got home." And she had a homeless guy laying on their couch, looking kind of rough, and she said, "Uh-oh, we're being invaded." And the husband called the police, of course. So cops showed up at her door ready to take on a home invader. Actually, it was created all by artificial intelligence and was a joke she was playing on the husband. Some women send pictures of good-looking, shirtless plumbers in their bathroom saying, "Hey, look who's here." Well, the husband called police, and now the wife has been arrested because she made the false statement. Will those charges stick, Lisa? Is that illegal? She just played a joke on her husband. He's the one that called 911.
Well, there have been lots of pranks that have gone wrong and involved the police, and there are charges if there's police, resources that are wasted on the issue. There's all kinds of. Some jurisdictions have specific laws. They came about because this was a thing for a while where people were making false reports to get attention and stuff, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So these swatting laws is what they were called, where like somebody would fake their own disappearance, and like SWAT teams and that's kind of where the swatting came from. And these huge scale, helicopters and all this were out looking for them. And so that's what this came out of. Now you're seeing this a lot more with like these AI pranks like you're seeing here. I think that they will maybe she might have to pay something if there was a big expenditure for, if 3 police cars full of officers came, and spent an hour coming to her house, and she may have to pay some kind of fine or something for that. They'll probably plea it down to something else, or maybe even drop it altogether because it's a pretty innocent thing.
Yeah.
Usually they don't press those charges unless someone was intentional in their pranking, intentionally involving the police.
Yeah.
It sounds like a case for stupid jail.
That's Biggie's thing. Biggie invented stupid jail.
Stupid jail.
And she is stupid for doing
Big
that.
time.
I say make an example of her. Stick her in jail for a little while.
Well, but who gets the stupid award is the husband, right? I think, she's playing a joke on him. And usually somebody that plays a joke like this, it's not the first time they've played a joke on you, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, but the AI images get better all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Now, if my wife texted me that, I would absolutely think that's real. She would never, ever do something like that. And
it's not her sense of humor.
No. She doesn't have a sense of humor. Lisa, you've met her. You know this.
But how it was worded, like, look what I found. I mean, that's not even, if you were genuinely afraid, you would be like, oh my God, get help.
Okay. Fair point.
Well, and you instead of texting your husband, you call 911 yourself.
You call 911 yourself,
That's
right?
a lot
and there's
easier.
a million reasons why he should have figured out that was a joke.
But we're
Fair point.
We're dough-headed. I'm
Ask the emailers.
ask everybody. I've been flooded with emailers about this NBA story. I'm doughhead. That's what they call me, the doughhead. Soft, simple, all those things.
Malleable.
We don't know. Malleable. That's right. Listen, this is a terrible story. Kristen brought it up in a DIM report yesterday. But I have to say, cojones of steel on this lawyer. There's a woman named Christina Chambers. She's 34, on trial for manslaughter. She was driving drunk, allegedly, and killed a guy in Houston 2 years ago, 4 times over the legal limit for alcohol, had cocaine in her car, speeding at 70 miles per hour in her Porsche, and she had come from, she was outside a Voodoo donut shop, and she hit a guy who was
On a
walking.
first date with a young lady.
Oh, my God. How terrible is that? And he died. I mean, it was
He died at the scene. The young lady on the date survived.
really awful. But her husband, and her lawyer, you want to talk about cojones. He says, you know what caused this? Her heels, her Louboutin shoes, made it too difficult for her to step on the brake. She accidentally was pressing down on the gas too fast, and it was all because of her shoes, the high heel. Lisa, the judge should probably make a mockery of this guy, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is definitely. I mean, and this was horrific. Like she was going around a curve at a high rate of speed in a Porsche, and she was 4 times, like you said, 4 times over the limit. So she's also facing a civil suit for wrongful death that includes her soon-to-be ex-husband, who is some kind of like trader, Bitcoin or something, billionaire. That's their assets are at stake. So they're groping for any kind of excuse they can find to, but she was, and her friends who were in the car with her was like, yeah, she's an alcoholic. Her husband's claiming she never drank. And so
Oh,
and
my
the friends
God.
in the friends in the car are like, yeah, she's an alcoholic. And the story of the couple that were leaving a restaurant, the girl, that's their first date, and the girl says, this car comes careening. She's able to jump out of the way. She turns to look to the boy, and he is hit. Something hits her face. She can't even see him. I think his body fluids are hitting her face.
Oh, my God.
And he is thrown 30 feet in the air and into a tree. I mean, he was dead on the scene. It was horrific.
Yes.
Horrific.
And this woman, I mean, to me, that lawyer needs to be taken aside and say, you're claiming this is shoes. Come on. Give us a break. Don't waste our time on this.
Yeah, I mean, and those are some expensive shoes. Now, they do have crazy heels on.
Okay,
They have
all right.
really crazy heels. But
Okay. Well, the other day, I was stone cold sober, middle of the day, pickleball rolls under my brake. And when I go to hit the brakes, oh, Lord, it won't press down. So I have to do some shifty maneuvering to get out of it. Could I sue?
The pickleball maker?
no, I think you were
I was in trouble.
contributing to that when letting that pickleball loose in the car.
Yeah, I have to clean up my pickleball.
Sad.
Yeah. There's this is shoe related as well. Customers have filed a class action lawsuit against a Swiss shoe company you've probably seen those shoes. They're running shoes. And one woman said she got hers, and this is the sound they make. Embarrassing squeaking, and so several others have taken up this class action lawsuit because there's nothing they can do about the squeak, and they want their money back, and they want a piece of the running company. What do you think about this, Lisa? Do they have any chance?
It's kind of early in the case because it was just filed a couple weeks ago. Kind of early to tell the strengths. There'll be motions coming. Big motion to dismiss will be coming. They may even deny class certification. There's all kinds of hoops they have to jump through. The plaintiff's case hangs on, showing that there was a problem with the design, like a defect in the design. The issue is with running shoes. I have these shoes. I'm a runner.
Mm-hmm.
I have some Cloud shoes, and they are built a little differently. They're very comfortable. My problem is they pick up pebbles in the little, the unique little kind of crevices in there is the only thing I've experienced with them. I haven't experienced any squeaking. I think it depends on the surface that you walk on. A lot of medical folks, doctors and nurses get these shoes because they're so comfortable. And on a hard, or concrete-based floor, I think they tend to squeak more. So that may be why you're seeing so many of these complaints. But all running shoes, just about from time to time, have had a brand come out, one of their styles that had a squeaking problem. And I mean, there have been these complaints have been lodged against Brooks, Nike, Hoka, Adidas. Nobody's ever sued over it. So it'll be interesting to see if if it gets certified and it goes forward, then it'll probably settle and everybody will get their $2 coupon and it'll be done.
That's what I thought. It's really probably not worth the time to go through this.
No.
I wanted some of those on shoes, but the guy at the shoe market, Kelsey, said, your foot, no, you cannot
You're
have
not built for it?
Not built for
Not built for an on.
No, I had to have the Beast from Brooks. Brooks, we're going to set you up with the Beast.
You a double wide.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing we can do for you. That's all he can say. There is a woman in Washington, D.C., Josefa Shepard. She's 76, won a landmark court case. We'll ask if you're surprised by this, Lisa. She forced her neighbor, 73 years old, his name is Thomas Cackett, to stop smoking marijuana in his own home after she claimed the odor, which she said smelled like feces or skunk, made her sick and ruined her quality of life. She represented herself for 5 years and wound up winning the case. Did this surprise you at all, Lisa?
You know, it was an application of the law of nuisance, and it was pretty straightforward as far as that goes because, we've talked about hog farms and other factories and things that create a terrible, obnoxious sort of odor, and people, sue them, and they have to take measures to prevent that. And that's typically what you see is more of something, being the person made to do something to help diminish the odor. But here, the judge said, sorry, you can't smoke weed within 25 feet or yards, I forget which one it was, of her abode. And so that means he can't smoke in his house any longer. So it was a straightforward application of the law, but in a unique situation where an individual was just barred from using his home in that way. And, we talked about this in these places like this, where weed is legal. You smell it everywhere. I mean, it's just everywhere. And so I think, it's interesting to see them say, well, here's, it's a line they're drawing, and we'll see if it perpetuates or if he were to appeal it. It'd be interesting. I don't think he will, but.
Nah.
Swear anymore. You smell it even where it's not legal.
I mean,
that is a fact.
So you smell all over.
Driving down the road.
Maybe you could send him some gummies, Kelly.
Well, that's what I'd recommend to him.
No smell.
Don't admit to it.
That's why he doesn't just do an edible. I mean, he can get the edibles, probably get a better buzz. It's like.
He's trying to get to you. Don't do that.
You're dying to testify, Kelly.
I can't. I have to plead the fifth.
Go ahead,
on
Kelly.
this.
Tell us.
On the advice of my attorney.
I would say go to a gummy. Go to a gummy. Yeah. I just read a list of things that Generation X does better. Excuse me. The current generation does better than Gen X, and they were like, "We eat our weed. You don't have to smell it anymore." And that's exactly what this woman was complaining about.
All right.
One more, last, very fast. A 50-year-old line cook in Florida, Carlos Gottberg, was arrested after he stole a cookbook of the place where he was working. And the law in Florida says you cannot steal that. It's a felony crime because it's stealing secret recipes. Is that the case in most states, or is that just in Florida or a few states, Lisa?
No, yeah. In majority of jurisdictions, if you steal, corporate-owned trade secrets, then it's a felony, and he faces up to 5 years in prison because he stole their top secret Venezuelan recipes. And, he's in big trouble.
That's exactly right. Man, I tell you, I was surprised. I thought that would just be like theft of a book and bring it back, but it's the actual trade secret. Exactly.
Yeah.
Lisa Lanier, tour de force performance today, as always.